Hey, this is the midterm part 2. I will go through and write my answers, which may be different from yours. Your answers may be just as good. And then I will, over the next few days, respond to your answers. Section 1, this is your promise to not get your family members to help you. Definitions. What's a clause? Now I asked for a full sentence, so a clause is any group of words that include a subject and a verb. Where does an adjective clause go? An adjective clause goes directly after the noun it modifies. When do you use commas with an adverb clause? You use commas with an adverb clause only when that adverb clause comes before the main clause. When do you use commas with a coordinating conjunction? You use commas with and, but, or so any time it joins two clauses. Do not use a comma when and joins just a list of items like apples and oranges. Name 3 conjunctions you can use with noun clauses. Now that's the only one that I said, so you have write full sentences, except number 5, which is okay as a list. So this is number 5. This is number 5, so we can just have a list here. That, what, how much, why. I only need 3. So the answer is that and any of the WH question words can start a noun clause. What does simple present mean? The simple present means usually. Section 3. Answer the question in a full sentence that includes at least 3 clauses. So that's 1 sentence, 3 clauses. A means 1. 3 means 3. So it's 1 sentence, 3 clauses. Where did you go last week? I went to Safeway in Alameda last week because they have wider aisles, so I thought it might be safer. And then I didn't see the arrows that showed one way and I went the wrong way. Anyway, so 3 clauses. I went because they have, so I thought, and that it might be. I have 4 clauses actually. So it says use. Answer in a full sentence includes at least 3 clauses, so 4 is fine. Always go back and read the instructions again after you answer to see if you did exactly what I asked. How do you feel? I feel amazingly comfortable in the house, even though I am such an extrovert that I need to see and talk with people for at least 2 hours every day. Okay, do I have 3 clauses? I feel, even though I am, that I need. Yeah, okay. So that's 3 clauses. Always go back and check. Where have you seen nature recently? I see nature outside of my office window all the time because I have a big, beautiful garden. But I also walk around my neighborhood looking at all of the flowering trees and bushes. Okay, do I have 3? I see, because I have, but I also walk. Yeah, so that's 3. What classes will you take in the fall? I probably won't take any classes, but I finally today got my assignment for fall, which includes speaking, listening 1, and grammar 3, which will both be in the evening. Okay, how many clauses do I have? I probably won't take is 1, but let's put the today in front. That would be better structure. But I finally got, which includes, which will both be. Okay, so I have 4 clauses there. So in that section, you need to answer the question. So it's important that you answer the question. You have to answer the question in a full sentence and include at least 3 clauses in 1 sentence. Section 4. Reported speech. Write a quote using the verb tense and then report that with appropriate verb shifts. Simple past. I asked my husband, do you want to go for a walk? Well, this is past. That's not past. All right, let's put that. Do I have a simple present? Oh, we don't have a simple present. Okay. I asked my husband. I have to have something in past here. Okay. I asked my husband, did you get lunch? Quote, I asked my husband if he got lunch. No, that's past, but you have to go another step back. If he had gotten lunch. I asked my husband if he had gotten lunch, because simple past in the, oh, I'm doing it in the wrong line here. Pay attention. So, simple past. So the quote is in simple past, but the report then is a step back, and that would be past perfect. Quote in simple past, and the report in past perfect. Okay, present progressive. The quote is in present progressive. He said the children are running together in the street. He said, quote, comma, quote, the children are running together in the street. So if that's present progressive, then the report has to be in past progressive. In the report in past progressive, he said that the children were running together in the street. No quote marks in the report. You have quote marks in the quote, but no quote marks in the report. Present perfect. So the quote will be present perfect. She said she has, no, she said, comma, I have left 3 things on your porch this week. So we have the comma in the quote, the period, and the quote. The quote is always to the right of the punctuation. So comma quote, and then period quote. I have left 3 things on your porch this week so far. And so that would be present perfect goes to past perfect. So in past perfect, she said she had left 3 things on my porch this week. Now, I know I'm still in the same week, but we don't know that after it's been in writing, so we should shift it to that week because we don't know what week it is. If I read it next week or 2 weeks from now, what week did we mean? So it's that same week. We could say within that week, just to be clear there. Okay, so now we have simple future, and I'll do simple future 2 different ways. I'll do simple future with will stepping back to would, and I'll do simple future with be going to stepping back to was going to. So the future is a little bit different. The step backs are a little bit different. And that will be true on our next lesson set with the ifs and wishes also. The step backs with the future are different. So will. I asked, will you be there on Friday? Reported, I asked if she would be there on Friday. Quote with be going to, he said, I'm going to pick up some pizza. The report, he said he was going to pick up some pizza. So the shift here is am to was. And when he said it, then that's I, meaning he, right? He said it. And when he says I, that means he. So when I report, he said he was going to pick up some pizza. You do need to, if you still don't quite understand that reported speech, study, because those step backs will be the same ones you'll need in class next week. Section 5. Write sentences following the instructions. Each sentence can be different from the ones before. These are separate sentences, not a build-a-sentence exercise. Just write any one sentence that follows the instructions for that number. Okay. Write a sentence that starts with a time clause in future time. After we finish this semester, we will go back to regular classes in the fall. So we will go is future, but you never have will in time clauses. No will in time clauses. Time clauses shift from future to present. Time clauses only do that shift, future to present. And if clauses do that too, that shift from future to present. You'll need to know that when we're doing ifs next week. Write a sentence that ends with a because clause in past time. A because clause in past time. Okay. I don't have enough cloth to make masks because my neighbor took my box of extra fabric to her house. So I don't have enough cloth to make masks because my neighbor took my box of extra fabric to her house. That's not true. She actually gave it back and I have it here. Again, I just need to find the time to make some more. Write a sentence with a coordinating conjunction and, but, or, so in simple present. Simple present. I love chocolate, but I don't have any in the house right now because I will eat too much and get fat. So, a sentence with a coordinating conjunction in simple present, but I don't have. I have some other clauses there too, but that's okay. It does follow the instruction. Write a sentence in present progressive with an adjective clause on the main clause's subject noun. Now, that means the main clause has to have a subject noun. So let's start with a main clause with a subject noun. My husband is watching TV. My husband is watching TV. That's a sentence in present progressive. And I have a subject noun. Now, you have to start with a subject noun before you can put an adjective clause on the subject noun. All right, so we have a subject noun. My husband, who isn't working now, is watching TV. He's retired. So my husband, who isn't working now, is watching TV. So that's a sentence in present progressive with an adjective clause on the main clause's subject noun, right? Always double check your instructions. Write a sentence in simple past with an adjective clause on the direct object noun. Okay, so let's start with a sentence in simple past with a direct object noun. I gave an apple to my neighbor's dog. So the direct object noun is the apple. So now I need an adjective clause about that apple. So in simple past, I gave an apple to my neighbor's dog. Now I want an adjective clause on the direct object noun, which is the apple. To my neighbor's dog is a prepositional phrase. The apple is the direct object. I gave an apple that I had bought at the market to my neighbor's dog. I usually don't spoil her dog like she does, but it was her birthday, so just to be nice. Write a sentence in present perfect with a noun clause object. Noun clause subject. Noun clause subject. Okay. A noun clause subject. That means the first word is a that or a wit or a WH is going to be the first word. What he said. Oh, present perfect. What he has said hasn't completely made sense to me. Okay. So we have what he has said, present perfect, hasn't completely made sense to me. So what he has said is the subject. It's the thing that hasn't completely made sense to me. That's a sentence in present perfect with a noun clause subject. Now this one is a sentence in simple future with a noun clause object. So a noun clause object, that means my verb is going to be think, believe, don't know, remember, understand. I'll do understand. I hope. Oh, I'll do two of them. I will understand someday. Well, that's enough. That's one. I hope I will understand someday. I hope what? I hope I will understand someday. That's a noun clause object, a sentence in simple future. Well, does the main clause need to be in simple future? Not necessarily, as long as there's simple future there. Let me try that. Undo the underline there. Okay. I will never understand why people don't pay attention to the scientists. So that's future. I will never understand. But then that one's not in future. So yeah, one of them will be future, it looks like. Not both. And that's fine. Sentence in simple future with a noun clause object. So that's a sentence in simple future with the noun clause object. If you have future in either part, that's fine. Write a sentence with a noun clause, an adverb clause, and an adjective clause all in one sentence. Okay, so that means you have to start with the noun clause because you want the I don't know, right? It's the easiest to start by adding the noun clause. If you have another beginning, then it's a lot harder to add a noun clause. I don't know where my sister went. Okay, that's a noun clause. Adverb clause. After she got home from the dentist. And then I need an adjective clause. I don't know where my sister went after she got home from the dentist who pulled one of her teeth. Not true, I'm just making a sentence. So we have, I don't know, main clause. Where my sister went is the noun clause. After she got home from the dentist is the adverb clause. And who pulled one of her teeth is the adjective clause. And I didn't say what order those had to be in. Those could be in any order. But that's a sentence with a noun clause, an adverb clause, and an adjective clause all in one sentence. All right. Now the build a sentence sets, follow the instructions to write a long sentence one step at a time. Do not change the sentence, but only add as you go. Write each part after the instruction for that piece. Write the whole sentence every time, only adding one piece each time. Do not change or remove anything. Add, add, add. So write a sentence with a noun clause object in simple future. Okay, so let's start with that. I can't remember where I put my glasses. Okay, so I can't remember is the main clause. Where I put my glasses. Oh, it's not simple future though. Not simple future. Let me try it again. I won't ever forget, future, what you did for me. I won't ever forget what you did for me. So that's a sentence with a noun clause object in simple future. Yep, I got all of that. All right, add a time clause to sentence 1A. So we're going to use all of sentence 1A and then add a time clause. I'll never forget what you did for me when I really needed it. Let's see, I'm going to add an adjective clause, and I don't have any nouns. So before I can add an adjective clause, I have to have a noun. So when I really needed help. Help's a noun. And I'm going to add an adjective clause there. I'm going to have all of that. Don't change anything. Don't take anything away. I'm going to have all of that. And add an adjective clause. I won't forget what you did for me when I really needed help that only you could give. Right. Now I could do that and put a noun here. When I see that I need that adjective clause, instead of you, I could say, I'll never forget what my neighbor did for me. Right? I could change that. My neighbor did for me. Then we have, but you have to have them all the same, right? So I can switch that. My neighbor did for me when I really needed help. And then I could put my adjective clause, what my neighbor who knows how to fix cars did for me when I really needed help. Now, that's implying that what they did for me was fix my car. I don't say that, right? But that's a fine sentence. I won't ever forget what my neighbor who knows how to fix cars did for me when I really needed help. Right, so either one of those is fine. Let me put back the other option also. What you did for me when I needed help that only you could give. Right? Either way, that works, but you do have to have a noun before you can have an adjective clause. You have to have a noun before you can add an adjective clause. So I have to go back and make sure that I have a noun here somewhere, right? I will never forget what you did for me. That's an I and a you and a me. There's no nouns there at all. So I can't really add an adjective clause. See, that time clause is green. Noun clause, object is blue. And then I'm adding a but clause. Okay, one more. So I'll do both of those and add a but clause. So you have everything, copy everything in, don't change it. I won't forget what my neighbor who knows how to fix cars did for me when I really needed help. When I really needed help. What color am I going to do here? But I couldn't leave my house to get it. That'll work. So that but clause in orange. I won't ever forget what you did for me when I really needed help that only you could give. But I won't ever forget what you did for me when I really needed help that only you could give. But you were happy to do it without complaint. Not the best sentence. The one with the nouns in it up here, the neighbor, is better. But that works. Sometimes you have to go back and fix the first one in order to have them all work. 2. Write a new short, simple sentence. Simple sentence means one clause with a singular noun word subject, a singular noun direct object, and a prepositional phrase in simple past. Now that's a lot of different instructions. So we're going to write a short, simple sentence with a singular noun subject in simple past with a direct object. My father gave noun object, a noun object. My sister, no, gave singular. A new car to my brother. Actually, it wasn't a new car. When my brother went to college, he got the old car. Gave his old car to my brother. That's true. When my brother went away to college, my father gave his old car to my brother. Okay, so let's double check. That's a short, simple sentence with a singular noun word subject, my father, a singular noun direct object, the car, and a prepositional phrase, to my brother, in simple past, gave. Great. Okay. Add a because clause. Okay. So we're going to copy that in and add, because we're adding, not changing. We'll do the because clause in green here. My father gave his old car to my brother because he had a long nine-hour drive. Next thing's a time clause. Okay, so I'm going to add the time clause. And it doesn't say I have to do it at the beginning or the end. I can put it anywhere. So the time clause, I'm going to do that in blue. When he went to college. And then I'm going to add 2 adjective clauses. Okay, now I need make sure I have plenty of nouns here. Okay, I have several nouns, so that'll work. So let's, all right, so 2 adjective clauses. We're going to do those in, let's do those in purple. So my father who wanted a new car anyway, gave his old car that was really ugly to my brother because he had a long 9-hour drive when he went to college, where he would study. So I can put in 3 adjective clauses. My father, who wanted a new car anyway, gave his old car that was really ugly to my brother because he had a long 9-hour drive when he went to college where he would study. So I do not change anything. I do not remove anything. Make sure all of those words are still there. I'm just adding. Add, add, add. Okay, rewrite this paragraph adding only capital letters, commas, and periods. For this, let me move this down so it's easier to look at. And say, she is staying at home now. Can I do all this in red? She is staying at home now while she's stuck at home, where she has to sit still a lot, period. Because I have a new independent clause, I have to have a new sentence. But this where has to go directly after the home because that's an adjective clause. She will watch all the movies that she has been meaning to watch and didn't have time. Now, and didn't, there's no comma there because there's no subject. And didn't have time to see when she was working and going out to see friends. Working and going, again, that's just a list. Period. I have a new independent clause. Period. She has collected a long list of movies that her friends have told her that she should watch. New she, when you have a new subject, if you have a new subject and you don't have a conjunction, you have a new subject and you don't have a conjunction, it's a new sentence. She doesn't like being stuck inside, but she is, so we have a but, comma. She is happy to have time to do the things that she has wanted to do, period. So those are really long sentences I wrote there. There's not a lot of punctuation. They're long, long, interesting, complex sentences. She's staying at home now while she's staying at, I'm sorry. When I read through it, I have to read through it. She's staying at home now, period. She's staying at home now, period. She's staying at home now. While she's stuck at home, where she still has to sit a lot. Yeah, that didn't work. I have to read through it before it makes sense. So that one is not. Okay, fix that. She's staying at home now. While she's stuck at home, where she has to sit still a lot, she will watch all the movies that she has been meaning to watch and didn't have time to see when she was working and going out to see friends all the time. Yeah, there we go. She has collected a long list of movies that her friends have told her that she should watch. She doesn't like being stuck inside, but she is happy to have time to do things that she has wanted to do. Right, that works better. Right. So you do have to read through it and make sure that it makes sense. Changing a sentence. In this case, you will not add, but change. Write a sentence with a plural subject. Write a plural subject, plural direct object in simple past. Plural subject, the children. A plural direct object, play games. Simple past, the children played games on their computers all day. I'm going to change that sentence to singular. So I'm going to change that sentence. Numbers don't work. Change that sentence to singular. The child played a game on her computer all day. Yep, so we have the child, singular, a game, singular, her computer, singular, all day. All right, change this to simple future. Okay, so sentence 2, the child will play a game on her computer all day. Or the other simple future, the child is going to play a game on her computer all day. Makes sentence 3 a question. Will the child play a game on her computer all day? Or, if you did be going to, is the child going to play a game on her computer all day? And that's it. So those are my answers. You see how I figure it out and how I talk it through. So you can look at this. After I answer yours, you can look at yours and look at this and see if you did what I said to do. The way I will post your answers is in a Word document. I will take your answers, write corrections, and post that. I'll do that over the next couple of days. So, good luck, everybody.